you have to command it, and you only command something when you think you're worth it.
Right.
You don't really go asking someone something that you don't think you're worth. Welcome to the Happy Insights podcast. I'm excited to have a co-host today with me, Alfonso Manso. And he is going to be kind of asking me questions as I teach stuff because I don't know. Do you believe in the stuff that I even talk about?
Yeah, to a certain point. I think after a while, then I kind of get lost, but yes,
All right. So today we're
I
gonna
do.
we're gonna talk about like manifestation. Like you've known about manifestation as long as I've known about manifestation.
Correct.
But I've actively done a lot of manifesting. Have you ever done an active manifestation?
I'd like to think I do. I mean, in my everyday life, I like to just,
Do you dream up something that's completely different than what you have now and kind of conjure that until the universe brings it to you?
no, for me, it's kind of like goals. Like I kind of set these goals and then I'd like to see them to fruition. I don't know if that's manifestation, but
I mean, that's goal setting for sure. But
mhm.
is it still within the realm of what you believe is possible?
Yes.
Okay, so like when I say manifestation, I mean like creating something that you really want that part of you believes you can't have.
Okay, so where's our $1 million?
So here's the thing. So there's a lot of teachers that say you just have to ask
Mm,
for what you want, and then the universe answers, and then you have to get into this receptive mode where you receive it. But I think it's harder than that. I don't think you can just ask and just chill and everything just comes to you.
right.
So I'm going to give you my 5 or maybe 6 step manifestation. I think it's more of a 5 step thing. And
Uh,
then tell me what you think about the process and whether you think it's possible. We're going to talk about maybe love.
okay, I like
Okay.
that.
Because I think there's a lot of limiting beliefs around love, especially like in our community, the gay community. There's a lot of
Mm.
things there's a lot of issues when it comes to love, like real love. And so,
I think it's
ooh,
everybody in general, really.
yeah, but I can only attest to my own world.
Yeah, no, straight people just have their mold and that's what they're used to. But yeah, no, they're full
Okay,
of shit too.
so let's talk about manifesting love. Okay.
Okay.
So step one is you define what you want.
Okay.
Okay. So you really like say, I want to be loved. And you kind of define what it means to be loved. And then you kind of go, you have dates and you go through stuff and you refine it. You kind of feel like, all right, maybe that wasn't what I wanted. This is what I wanted. And you refine it.
Okay.
So that part sounds easy, right?
Right, right, right.
And then the next one is kind of harder. You command it because you believe that you're worthy of it.
Okay.
Do you think that's easy?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, because I guess people have that self-doubt, that voice in the back of their head.
That says you're
Like,
not worthy. There's something wrong
yeah,
with you. You're not good enough.
yeah. I think I don't know if a lot of people have it.
A
I
lot of people have
definitely
it.
have it.
A lot of people have it.
Okay, good.
No.
I mean, okay, good. I'm not alone.
No, a lot of people do have that. But what I wanted to say is that you have to command it, and you only command something when you think you're worth it.
Right.
You don't really go asking someone something that you don't think you're worth in general and command it. You might say, please, can I have it? But you're not saying, I'm
I
going to have,
demand
yeah,
this. Right.
yeah. Like in a nice way, I say command because it's kind of like your wish is my command,
Hmm.
not your wish is my demand. It's a slight different variation in words. So that's, I think, one of the hardest parts because a lot of people they have beliefs that they're not worth what they are asking for.
Correct.
So if you can't believe you're worth it, even if it comes into your life, you're gonna push it out. Like you'll get the person that would give you everything, but you will sabotage the heck out of it, and then all of a sudden you're back to being alone. Because the universe will only bring you what you believe you're worth. It never brings you anything more. It just can't bring you anything more because it makes you feel uncomfortable. If it's like for me, I hate taking compliments.
Okay.
So,
I can identify with that.
so like when people give me too much compliments, I deflect it. I'm like, no, they're like, oh, you look good today. I'm like, no, 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 you must be blind or no, I must have had a good day or something. I always come up with like some excuse.
If you can't have me at my bestest, you can't have me at my grossest.
Isn't the opposite? That's the opposite.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be like, if I can't have me at my grossest. Okay, so that's the third step. Right, third step.
Okay.
Then the way you go about believing that you're worth it is you look at other people who are kind of in the same situation as you and have the thing that you want. So, and there's
Okay.
always people that have exactly what you want. They have the same flaws as you, they have the same situation as you. And unless you actually acknowledge that your belief is just a bunch of bullshit,
Hmm.
you're not going to overcome that belief. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like when people used to be like, there's so many women I work with, and they're like, I can't be in a position of power because men don't like a woman in a position of power. And I always say, what about Oprah, and Stedman?
Hmm.
And or there are people who are like, I'm too fat for blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, what about Oprah?
What what about Stedman the Stallion?
No, but seriously, like Oprah is such a good example of everything, Or I was raised in a poor family, and
What
and
about
oh,
Oprah?
what about Oprah? That's always the what about Oprah part.
I love it.
And I always use her as an example because she's kind of overcome the odds.
Mm.
And there's so many people who are like, oh, I'm not pretty enough. Then I don't say what about Oprah because Oprah is pretty. But there are people that are not so pretty and they have the thing that you want. So that's one of the ways to like kind of tweak the system and say, hey, maybe my belief system isn't as rooted in fact as I thought I was.
Okay.
But here's the thing. The only way to manifest anything, once you've defined it, refined it, and commanded it, is to embody the end result. So you have to get yourself in this place where you feel what it would feel if you had the thing that you wanted.
So are we talking self-love?
Well, in this case, you can have self-love, but if you don't feel like, no, no, self-love is like a given. You should be working on self-love anyway.
Okay.
That's aside from everything. Because self-love is the part where you think that you're worth it.
Right, right, right. That's what I was gonna say.
Right. But you actually have to put yourself in a place where you are in your mind, like you do these visualizations where you're in a relationship and you get the feeling of how it feels to be in that good relationship.
Okay.
This is the thing though.
You
You
have to
can't
believe
fake it
it.
till you make it. Yeah, you have to like embody it. The best word is embody.
Mhm.
Like so there's a guy that I'm listening to right now. Well, his teachings, he's dead. It's Neville Goddard, and he's one of the OGs when it comes to manifestation. So he's from the 1950s, and he basically says that the Bible is just basically um, a book written about manifestation. And he always says, God is consciousness and God is everything. So, and you are consciousness. So if you believe that you are whatever you are, that's what you're going to be.
You're gonna be.
So whatever you assume to be, you're going to be. But if you want something different than what you have right now, you have to actually embody it. So you have to see what does it feel like to have the thing that you want.
Okay, so if we're talking about love, if we're talking about a partner,
Okay.
so how would one embody that? Like, how do you,
So
I mean, do you buy yourself a bottle of champagne and you're like, hey, honey?
would that make you feel like you're like pretending, or would that make you feel like,
Yeah, it would kind of feel a little bit like pretending. Um, and the reason I say this is because I used to do that incessantly as a child. Like I was like, my life's gonna be like this. I'm gonna have a husband and he's gonna do this and that. And yeah, girl, the
so
dream is not alive.
so here's the thing. When you are saying I'm gonna have this, or you're creating this thing where you have the bottle or champagne and he's not actually there, it's gonna be counterproductive.
Okay.
Because anytime you say I'm going to get this or this is what I'm working on,
Hmm.
it's not present tense.
Okay.
So in order for the universe to bring you the thing that you really want, you have to, it's mind work, it's energy work. So you can spend 15 minutes a day, like twice a day. This is what I've been doing lately. And you imagine what it feels like to be in that relationship
Okay.
as it is now. And you really go through the motions. Like lately, I've been doing this thing because think I'm ready for a relationship now.
Hmm.
So I've been doing this thing where I imagine waking up and I imagine like someone kissing me on the neck because that's very intimate. It's not like just random sex or
Yeah, no,
anything.
it's passionate.
And then I imagine me making him breakfast, and another day he's making me breakfast, and another day the butler's making, the chef is
Not the
making us
baby
breakfast.
that's making breakfast. Everybody be making breakfast, girl.
Yeah, but like, so I'll do that. And then I kind of like, I'll go house hunting with him. But I create like this reality
So
where
these
it
are
feels real.
scenarios though in your head.
Yeah, but
You
they're
don't actually go to a house. You don't
no,
see a
no,
house.
it's all in your head because the
Okay.
world is energy. So if you can live in that world long enough until it becomes real in your head,
Hmm.
then the universe doesn't know the difference if it's real or not. Then it's like you start molding the clay of energy into the thing that you want.
Hmm.
And then once you get used to embodying the thing that you want, then you have to wait, which sucks. Especially if it's something that you have been wanting for a long time. It's really hard
And then you
because
got to be home to sign for the package, right?
so you have to wait. You got to wait. And then waiting means that you still have to do the energy work while you wait.
Okay.
So let's say that today I'm doing this stuff and I'm imagining this wonderful person around me, and then I go about my day and I'm rejected by a bunch of people or people
Hmm.
don't look at me. I can't let that affect my
What
visualizations. And I'm not going to go knocking on anybody's door while I'm still doing the work.
got you.
Because if I do the work enough, then the mutual attraction will happen on its own.
Hmm.
And then you have to tap into your intuition. This is the final step. When you've waited long enough, you've done the work long enough, you tap into your intuition to know when to take the step. Because there will be a moment where whatever it is you want has matured from like just an idea to something a lot more real, but you haven't experienced it yet. And then you basically have to be in tune with yourself. Let's say if you're just hanging out, drinking, and not paying attention and watching television and all that stuff, your intuition might be telling you, hey, get up, go. You need to go somewhere. And you're just like, whatever. You're not paying attention.
Okay.
So if you're not in tune with your inner world, you're not going to know the cue at when to take the step. And then when you take the step, the person you run into is the person and it's done.
Oh, okay. Now, can this be somebody you know?
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, I mean, unless it's something that was meant to happen.
Okay.
Like if you want someone that you know that maybe doesn't want you at this moment, that's kind of already going backwards.
No, it's not really that scenario. It's just you know how people come in from your past and I don't know.
I
You
mean, it
just
could be
kind of
somebody from your
think,
past.
like, "Oh, did I miss this?"
Well, I'm going to tell you, if you haven't done the energy work and all the work that you did, you're not going to get anything different.
Okay. I'm gonna say good because I don't want him.
But here's the thing. So the universe will test you during your waiting period.
Okay.
It'll say, okay, I know you wanted love and whatever, but I'm going to give you something just a little less. Are you going to settle for that? And most people do settle for it before it's like fully ripe. They go to the orchard and pick a half ripe apple
Mhm.
because they're like, oh my God, look what I did. I made an apple, but it's green. It's supposed to be red. They're like, oh, yay, apple. And then take a bite out of it. And they're like, well, this sucks. And they go back to their first step again.
Okay.
So the universe will show you the fruit of your labor in its stages. But if you bite before it's ready, you kind of end up back where you
You
started.
sabotage yourself.
Yeah. Okay. So I've been doing this work, right?
Okay.
And I dream stuff in advance, so I get to see stuff in advance. So generally, when I'm going to meet somebody or have a relationship, it already happens in my dreams first. And that's a really good way for me to know if it's
And
energetically.
you know it's them,
Generally, like it's, for example,
or it's like a symbol of
I'll
them.
find like I'll have like last time I had a boyfriend was when I met my boyfriend was 2016. For like weeks before that, I was in a relationship in my dreams.
Oh, got you.
And it was a good relationship dream that was
No,
happening.
I've had those where like you wake up and you're like,
That was
was
nice.
that mommy?
Well, it might have been. And then,
Hmm.
but that's how I usually know. So I've been doing energy work and the last few weeks, because I've been doing it for about a month now. And because I don't want to meet the wrong person, I don't want to be in a wrong relationship. I have my children. I'd rather wait and meet the right person. So I've been doing the energy work and I've noticed that people are coming up to me more all of a sudden out of nowhere, but
Okay.
they're not the right people. But normally I would chase them. Like if something doesn't click, I would still be like, "Hey, what are you doing tomorrow?" Just because I want to fill in the boredom or the loneliness. But now I know what I'm working on. I have a very clear vision of how I want to feel and who they're going to be or what they're going to be like.
That's how I kind of feel about my next relationship going forward. Because I think most of my relationships in the past have been that. Like, it was just kind
Half.
of, yeah, it was just either for convenience. I wanted a boyfriend. I wanted, I don't know, go to dinners. But yeah, it was all for the wrong reasons. And I'm feeling that like this person, especially at the venture in our ages now,
What are you
uh,
talking about? I don't know what you're talking about when you say
like
ages.
I'm gonna say, I'm older. Um,
By what, 11 months?
I was gonna say 9 years.
11 months.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I think we have to make it count really this time.
Well, so what I was saying is that so now I've noticed like people are being more attracted to me and they're chasing me more because I've
Okay,
decided I'm going to be the magnet and I will no longer chase and someone will chase me.
okay.
And then the night before last, I had a dream that there was this guy and we kind of had like a little fling thing, like a
Okay.
brief encounter. You can define it however you want to in the audience. I'm not going to be too graphic.
I used to know Craigslist girl. Mm,
No, but it was something that it was like I remember the person's face and it was a good encounter, but it wasn't exactly whole, right? So then I go out last night and I see a person coming into the party and it looks like that person.
okay.
So then I go and I talk to the person or we encounter and then I seem to walk away and he follows me and then I he walks away, I follow him and we talk for the whole night. And then we connect on
It's
like a
like
deeper
animals
level.
courting each other. I love
Yeah,
it.
exactly. We are animals courting each other.
Basically.
And the thing is, like, I'm a writer, he was a writer.
Okay.
I art. I draw, he arts, I art. So there was a lot of commonalities. And then we did have a little encounter. It was very brief
And this is in person.
in person.
Okay.
And normally today I would have reached out.
Oh, because this was just yesterday.
Yeah.
Got you.
And I didn't reach out because I don't think that it was like half baked.
Hmm.
It was almost there. But it was enough for me to have chased like 10 years ago.
Got you.
But now that I've embodied this thing, I'm not going to take any action until that thing becomes exactly that thing
You
where
made the match.
it's a match to the embodiment. It's not a match to the dream.
Okay.
The dream is just showing me where I'm at. Okay, I'm doing my job right. People are showing up. Now all of a sudden I'm not like before I was meeting everybody I was meeting was in a relationship and they were into me, but they were all in an open relationship, which I'm not really into. I'm not into couples and the gay world has a lot of open relationships.
I don't know. I think that's just like opening Pandora's box, really. But I
Yeah.
mean, it all depends. I don't want to sound like a prude either. So is this kind of like when you're in a relationship? Because I noticed this used to happen to me when I was in a relationship. I would always get hit on,
Yeah,
or like, the weirdest places like 7-Eleven or something. Guys like checking me out. And I'm like, it's
because you're embodying being loved or being attracted, someone liking you.
got
Because you're
you.
already that. It's like when people are trying to have a baby and they can't have a baby and then they finally adopt and they get pregnant.
Eh?
It's once you are actually actively vibrating a certain energy, then the world responds to you that way.
Okay.
So now I didn't call that guy.
So are you just gonna wait,
Nope.
or is it
I'm
just
okay. If he calls, I'll feel it out, but I don't think that's the right person.
got you?
Despite the fact that there was a lot of similarities,
Mhm.
I just didn't feel that full on, like it wasn't that perfect match the way
Now,
that
was it attraction or just
there was
pure?
attraction, there was people like certain things. There was a lot. There was a
Okay,
good chunk of stuff that at any
that
other
was
time,
enough.
it was enough for me to pursue in the past.
Got you.
But now I know what I want is
You would
just
have
a
looked
little bit
past
bigger.
it, and now you don't want to.
Yeah,
Okay.
now I'm like, I'm doing the energy work. The universe is showing me signs that I'm actually doing the work.
Okay.
And then I am going to wait and keep doing the work and embodying it. And then and making sure I don't have any negative self-talk. Because
Right.
you know me, I will hate myself and hate my hair and hate my nose and hate my teeth and hate my everything.
That's why we're friends.
No, but you're always the one who's like, oh, someone's gonna love you just the way that you are.
Yes.
Yeah, and I say, no, I just want to be loved the way that I want to be.
Right. I watch these people on my 600-pound life, and I'm like, they don't even bathe. Okay.
And they have a
And they
boyfriend.
have somebody. Yeah, which is awesome. I mean, I'm not knocking them, but yeah, no, showers every day here, honey. Right.
No, so for me, like I have to make sure I don't go into that hate world or I'm not good enough mode
Or you're
or
questioning yourself.
yeah. So like that's when the embodiment happens, which is interesting because we're talking about it now, and then I'm just curious how long it's gonna take for the actual full fruition to come.
For the package to get delivered.
Yeah. And then
Mm.
and I have to make sure I'm home to sign for the
Girl,
package.
you have to be able to receive it because if you're not there to receive it, it goes right back to heaven, girl.
Well, yeah.
I'm gonna say, girl, that Amazon driver gonna come and take it, girl.
Or the neighbor's gonna come take it.
Girl.
Uh, so so basically that was my steps to manifestation.
Okay.
You define, you refine, you command and know that you're
Not
worthy of it.
demand, command.
Command the universe.
Right.
And then you embody
Okay.
and then you wait while you're doing the work
Right.
and don't be fooled by false manifestations and remember what you're worth because the universe will be like, are you sure you are worth what you said you're gonna
Right.
do? And because I'm gonna give you little bits of like thing to see if you're really believe it or not, or if you'll settle.
I'm like, he's a meth head and he treats my daughter nice. By my daughter, I mean my dog. Um, yeah, I guess you're right.
So then you once you do the waiting, then you have to be in tuned enough with your intuition to know when to act. Because if you don't act, chances are the person won't come into your house. And
I'm gonna be
unless
like,
he's an Amazon
right. I'm gonna be
delivery
like, did
person.
you sign for the package too? Are you here for a package?
So that's my version of manifestation. And it's a little bit more complicated than other people's, but I hope
I
you
like
liked
it.
it.
That's pretty simplified. I think I can work that into my meditation and just thinking more positively about myself because it is a challenge, but uh, I'm worth it. You know what I mean? And
Well,
yes,
and you have to believe that
right.
and make the assumption that you're worth it because whatever you assume to be true becomes true.
Okay.
And then a good trick is to do your meditations or visualizations when you're in theta state, which is right when you wake up or when you're
Ooh,
about to go to sleep.
I'm a big bitch though at that time. I'm not trying to think of anything positive. I'm just like,
Well, that's the where your power is. So if you're
okay,
imagine what you're doing during that powerful time if you're not thinking positive.
okay,
So you have to use the theta state is where your brain is in between sleep and awake.
right.
And that's where your power is. because that's when you're like can really create. So if you do it in the morning and if you do it at night, or I take a lot of naps. So I do it right before I go into my nap world and right when I'm coming out.
I got you. Just that, like, I'm here, but I'm not.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, like I've been able to manifest a lot of things in my life. I kind of have the life that I want, but
Hmm.
love was one of those things where I just never felt worthy of it. And then now it's gone. I've eradicated that concept that I'm not worthy or not good enough
Got you.
because I realized that it was all in my head all along.
That's what I've kind of came to the conclusion recently. For me, this is what I've been going through. I'm just like, I don't need anything or anyone. I'm kind of like happy where I'm at, just in a sense in life. Um, so is that counterproductive?
I mean, it's fine if you like are happy just where you are.
Okay.
But if you secretly
But you
want
can't be
more,
both.
no, you should have gratitude for what you have.
Okay.
You should be grateful for what you got. But if you really don't, I mean, they say when you stop searching is when you find. So technically,
Right.
that could be the thing. But if you genuinely don't believe that you're worthy of it and you can't see what it would feel like, you won't get it. It just can't come. Because what will come is more of the past, because your brain is designed to create more of your past.
Okay.
95% of the thoughts that you think are the same as yesterday's. So you're only like able to switch just a little bit of your thoughts. So the people that really take the time to like create something new in their mind, that's why they call them visionaries. People that have visions, like they are, and the vision is to see something that's not there, to have a vision.
Like a ghost.
Well, if you see a ghost, then it's obviously there.
I'm gonna say, sir, is you a visionary or ma'am?
But the whole point is that people that create stuff in the world are visionaries, people that can see something, feel it, and they don't care what other people think. They don't care what their mind says. They don't really care what's realistic.
Right, because I'm sure the odds were all stacked against
I
them.
mean, think about my kids. Like, I think all my children, I have had four. The odds of me having four children as a gay guy are very low.
I never saw it in the cards for us. I mean, just period, because I don't know, I guess that was our generation. But I love that about you. Like, you put your mind to something and you're like, I'm going to do this, and this is what's going to be the outcome.
And it happens.
And yeah, it all comes to fruition. And
But
I've
when it
always told you I
Yeah,
tip my hat
but
to
when
you
it
for
comes
that.
to love, though, I think that was my biggest block. When it comes to creating stuff, like I've had this thing in my mind that I always know I'm provided for by the universe.
Mm,
So I never really wanted to be rich because I have a nice house, I have a nice car, I have a nice life, I have a nice everything that I want. I go on vacations.
mm.
But now, like I have my children that I want to make sure I leave something behind for them. So now
Generational
the
wealth.
the gen yes. So now I have this new desire to be more wealthy, like to have more than I need.
Okay.
So now that's my next manifestation. And then love, because I really think that I want to have love before my kids get older, so we kind of grow up together as a family.
I like that idea.
All right. So that was a little different than the usual show and the usual conversation because it was a little bit more interactive. I hope you liked it. Thank you, Alfonso, for joining.
Thanks for having me. So much
Um,
fun.
and
Good
I
times.
hope good time. I hope you learned something new, and I hope that we kind of painted a more clear picture of what the manifestation process is. So thank you for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe and write a comment. Say what's on your mind, because if you don't, then I don't know what's on your mind. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye. Bye.